Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now we have to prepare the DTOs. So DTOs in Laravel are called resources. So basically, what are the data that's going to represent, for example, the products, how we're going to present those data in our API. So this is what you're gonna do right now. The first resource is gonna be products preview. So I decided to create two resources for the products model. The first resource file, which is products preview resource, it's going to be used in the list or in the when we're going to paginate throughout the list of products. So we're not going to get in the API or send into the API response all the details for the products. However, in the product detail page, we're going to use the product resource, the detailed DTO of the products, or the detailed resource of the products. So we're going to create the resource by running PHP artisan make resource, and we're going to name it product preview resource. So in the products preview resource, we will have, let's define this DTO. It's going to be, of course, going to give us an array. These are the properties of the JSON data. So it's going to be the ID of the product and the title, category, the price, and the thumbnail. And we have done in the, if you do remember, in the products model, we have done the thumbnail. So this is a utility function that we have done for this particular purpose. Now it's worth mentioning that we won't use price like this. We have to format this price field. So to format it in PHP, we're going to do number and format. So that's why we do this, how to handle prices in the backend, generally speaking. So price, and we will divide it by 100, and we will take two numbers after the decimal. So number formats, and we're going to divide the price by 100. This is the conversion, and we're going to just take two numbers after the, or two digits after the decimal. That's pretty much it for the product resource. With the same thing, we will define our product resource, which is the detailed product resource file. It's going to be with the same command, but instead of products preview, it's going to be products resource. Going to copy this section here. Great. The missing columns or missing data that's going to distinguish the product resource file from the product resource. So basically, it's going to be the quantity, because we didn't define the quantity. Another field, it's going to be all the media or all the images related to this product. So media, and we have defined a utility function that's going to give us the formatted, or the it's well represented for this case, the products images that we have prepared before, and the description. Now we have to do the same thing for the DTO of the user. I'm going to call it user resource, the ID of the user, the name of the user. Maybe, I don't know, we can use this afterward if you want to enhance this application. I'm going just to use email verified, just to see if you can test with this actually, if user has verified its email or not, in order to prevent robots from creating fake profiles. Of course, going to define the wishlist. So the wishlist is going to be loaded lazily from the method that we have created before, defining the relationship between the user and the wishlist. So we're going to leave it afterward because we didn't have created the wishlist resource. So I'm going to comment this. The last resource, it's going to be wishlist resource. The user ID, the products ID, and the details. The detail of the products are going to be used in other clients in order to handle caching properly. So whenever you see this, it refers to not this particular, it refers to the model. It's because we are passing in the resource as a parameter the model itself. So this refers to the model. So the model here in this case is the wishlist model. Now I'm gonna add another column. It's gonna be the product ID, product detail, and we will load this lazily. When loaded, we have defined the relationship products this is a callback function. What we will give, or what you will get as formatted resources, we will use the product resource. So this is basically the idea. So it's going to be a callback function. We will return a new product resource file, and we'll pass in parameter the product model. You can see here, when loaded, take in parameter the product model, and what we will return the resource, which is the DTO, representing the data of, or the detailed data of the product model. And let's come back to the user resource to define the rest, which is the wish list of this current user. So it's gonna be wish list resource, and of course it's a list, so it's gonna be collection. We will load this lazily with this when loaded, and we will define here the relationship that we have already defined before, which is wishlist. So the wishlist relationship stands for, or refers to, the wishlist function, which is a relationship. So whenever we're going to load this particular relationship, lazily, we're going to return the collection for this user model. All right, so this is basically it. So we will have in this DTO the ID, the name, and the email, blah blah blah, and in the wishlist list, it's gonna have all the related wishlist or the related wishlist items defined by this wishlist resource. Our application, of course, has to come with some data. In order to do so, we need to define seeders. So the seeders are basically a class that's going to seed our database with pre-populated data. So in Laravel, in order to create a seeder, we're going to run this command, php artisan make seeder. We're going to call it product seeder. So I'm not going to write everything because it's you can just copy paste the content of this product seeder because it's too long. You're gonna see why. So this is basically the product seeder. It's going to insert in our database some data. So it's going to insert, for example, this data. It's going to be sunglass accessory, and this is the asset file that we're going to provide those assets in the I'm going to call this branch seeders, or I'm going to call it resources. I'm going to call this branch resources, and you can check the resource branch or resources branch and copy this code to your seeder, or and of course the images that's going to be included. So those images are going to be included in assets folder. What we are doing here, we're going to define this products data with our products array with those data, and at the end, what we will do, we'll insert the data. We will try to insert or create or update or create the model products with this data, and we'll get the public path from the images folder, and we'll try to add this image to the created model. So we're going to attach this media to the model, and we're going to insert everything. We're going to insert this media in the products images that we have defined before or previously in the product model. And here we're just going to sanitize the file name if we have a malformatted unsanitized file name, and maybe you're going to keep the media. So here I'm going to preserve original. If you don't add this method, whenever the Spatie Media library is going to add or to attach the image to the product model, it's going to delete the original one. So it's going to delete the image that has been stored in the assets or the images folder. But if you just do preserve original, it's going to preserve the original images that's been placed as a source of images. We need to run our product seeder. So as you can see here, we will, if you run this command, or if you run this class or this function, it's going to create a user with this data. we're not going to create a pre-populated user. Instead, we have to create a pre-populated products. Inside this function, we will call product array of seeders, product seeder dot class. We're going to run this command, php artisan database seed. It's going to run this function that will create all of these products that we have defined here. Now we have to add the images before seeding our database. So as I said, I'm going to let the images in the resources defined in the resources branch in GitHub, download the whole project and just bring and copy the images into the specific images folder. So after downloading the images, go to public folder. Here is the public folder. And as you can see here, we have the storage folder. And now in the public folder, create a new folder. I'm going to name it images. So those are the images that we're going to use in this tutorial. I think we are ready to seed our database. Let's run the PHP artisan db and seed. We did not save our seeder. Let's rerun the command php artisan db seed, and it's done. I guess that the images shouldn't be here. That's fine. So the images folder is empty, which means that after running the command, every time we're going to add or attach an image to a created product, it's going to delete the original image that has been placed in images folder. If you do, for example, preserve original, it's going to preserve the images inside the images folder. So that's pretty much it. We don't have any errors here. And if we check PHP my admin, and here is the database, we have the list of products. That's good. And let's check the media table. So here we have attached to each model the conversion as well as the image. So let's take, for example, the aviator sunglasses. This is the UID that we're going to get. This is the collection name that we have defined here. If you do remember, we have defined the media collection name, product images, and we have the file name that we're going to get from the going to feed our API with. So file name, not interested in this. So that's why I have formatted the this method here. I have formatted this array in order not to get all those fields or all this data. In testing, we're going to use some data. And in order to avoid creating data manually, we're going to do factories. So that's what our factories for. So the first factory, it's going to be the products factory. So I'm going to do PHP artisan make factory. I'm going to name it product factory. So inside the products factory, we're going to tell Laravel how the product is going to be created, a random product, how it's going to be created. It should have a title. Okay, first things first, we shouldn't again jump into the definition. We have to attach or to tell Laravel this factory is related to the model product model. So now whenever we're going to create a product from the factory, it's going to give us what you're going to define here in the return. So we have to do stuff randomly. There is a utility function. It's going to be fake, and let's call it unique. So because we have defined in our database a unique title, so it's going to be unique, and words, it's going to consist of 3 words. The category, same thing, fake, random element. So it's going to pick from this array, electronics or grocery, and clothing. It's going to pick up a random value from this array. And for the price, again, it's going to be fake. Right now, it's like creating our mock data, if you will. So number between 100 and, I don't know, I think it's too much. Just gonna do 1000. Quantity with the same thing, it's gonna be fake number between, or a random number between 1 and let's do just 100. description fake. There is a utility function for sentences, whatever sentence it's gonna be producing. So we are done with factories and seeders. Now, our application is ready to implement the API. For the next tutorial, we will create the controllers in order to define the interaction. If you will, we're going to define our API. So right now we have just prepared as a recap, we have prepared the migrations and the models, and we have prepared the resources that stands for the data transfer objects, which is the resources or the DTOs, if you will. And we have pre-populated our database with factory, with the seeders, and we have created factories for testing purposes. I hope you liked the video. See you in the next one, and happy coding.